Alright, I am very much looking forward to how episode 5 is gonna go. I'm wondering how different it's gonna be. I've said this plenty during this playthrough. I really wonder how different this is gonna be. Because, I mean, everything I've done this playthrough has. Like, all of the major stuff I've done this playthrough feels like it's gonna change something. It feels like something is gonna change in Chapter 5 because of that. Something I haven't even thought about is I wonder what Duke being alive will cause for the scene at the farm. I wonder if he's gonna be there instead of Bo, if him and Bo are both gonna be there, if it's just still gonna be Bo there. I'm not sure. And then there's the obvious with being closer to Tabitha, the cops not being after me. I'm very interested in how the Forbidden Wing thing will go because now my character knows more about some of the stuff that's going to happen there than last playthrough. So let's load. Yeah, I'm probably just going right into the game this time instead of talking for a bunch this time. I don't think there's a ton to talk about. I think I kind of talked about my thoughts, a lot of my thoughts on how last chapter went at the end of last stream. And just throughout last stream. The last two chapters I talked about a lot. I don't think there's really anything else much I have to say, so nothing else I really have that I have thought of that I didn't say last stream. So yeah. Continue. Would you like to see your recap before? No. You wake to the sound of birdsong and to the welcome aroma of breakfast sizzling down the hall of Stella's intimately cozy cottage. The soft cotton oversheet you're wrapped in still smells like her. The gentle morning sun shines in through her bedroom window, speckling the sheets with dazzling spots of light, warming the spot where Stella lay beside you all night. You feel like you had a good night's sleep for the first time in days, and you know you have her to thank for it. Join her in the kitchen. Lilac, hope I wasn't too noisy in here. I wanted you to be able to get some more sleep. I know it's early. Still, it can't be too bad to wake up to somebody making pancakes for you, even if it is at the crack of dawn. Same option I did last playthrough. You take a step forward, leaning in close. You can feel Stella's smile broaden as you plant a gentle kiss on her cheek. Oh, Lilac, you can do better than that. Before you can pull away, she takes her face in her flour-dusted hands, pressing her soft lips to yours. She smirks as she turns back to the pan. How'd you sleep? Aren't I the host here? Isn't that what I'm supposed to ask you? But I slept great. Of course I did. Thanks again for everything you did yesterday. You have no idea how light I feel right now. It was nice to wake up here and know your face will be one of the first things I see. Can't believe you made me pancakes are amazing. Thanks for making breakfast. I feel like I barely ate yesterday. I'm starved. You really didn't have to go through all this trouble. Pancakes on something else. Say nothing. Stella's gentle smile spreads into a grin. Well, aren't you romantic? If you think my looks are nice, wait till you try my pancakes. These are what'll have you coming back for more. And that's the last one. Let's have ourselves a breakfast feast. I wonder if we're gonna see Reese at all this episode. I didn't even think of it. I just remembered the fact that he ran away at the end of last episode. I wonder if we're gonna see him at all. I should definitely tell Stella about what happened yesterday, just so that then if we do see him, it's not like it's gonna be a surprise regardless, but it's not as much of a surprise. Stella motions with a pancake-laden plate towards the table. You take a seat. Save, probably. Right here. Think about the pancakes before I say anything about Reese. You take a multi-layered bite of Stella's pancakes. They're incredible. A perfectly crispy crust with a light and fluffy interior, still steaming from the heat of the pan, with a generous pour of maple syrup adding a flavorful sweetness. A rich buttery aftertaste lingers on your palate. A stack of these made with love by someone who cares about you is the perfect way to start your day. Is a perfect way to start your day. Yeah. Probably should. Hey, before we figure out our plans for the day, we should talk about Reese. Why did something happen? You take a deep breath, then proceed to explain everything. Stella stares down at her pancakes in shock, trying to process what you've just said. Reese was a monster the whole time? I mean, I'm sure it was pretty shocking and scary in the moment, but I gotta admit, one of my best friends turning out to be some kind of supernatural creature is basically a dream come true. Surprisingly, she's taking it better this chapter. I wonder what specifically... I guess she's in a better state of mind. First of all, it's also that, like, we didn't end up having to tranquilize Reese. He ran away instead. I bet that's part of it. But also, I think that she's in a better state of mind because something I didn't realize even completely last chapter, or last playthrough, is that she would have forgotten about Kanika as well. Because of fucking Sybil. She would have forgotten about Kanika as well, but this playthrough she still obviously would have, but also having now repaired her relationship with Tabitha, she probably, she didn't lose like her one friend left in town from her memory, because now she has the relationship back with Tabitha. So I guess that's probably part of that, is that she's more... she's in a better state of mind to be able to hear something like that. I mean, I'm sure it was pretty shocking in the moment, but I gotta admit, one of my best friends turned out to be some kind of supernatural creature is basically a dream come true. I think I read that already before I started talking about the difference in reaction. I hope we run into him today. I bet he looks so cool. I wonder if he'll give an interview for my channel. What's the plan for today? I've been thinking about that. It seems like everything that's happened so far is connected to your family. I've been itching to explore the Forbidden Wing since I first started hanging out with Tabby. Maybe we can sneak in today and see if it has any clues. How can we be sure Tabitha won't be there? I know Tabitha. She'll be at work. Plus, isn't there a strike going on or something? No way is she gonna be relaxing at home today. We have the place to ourselves. As soon as Tabitha told me about that the Forbidden Wing was forbidden, I've needed to see what's in there. Right? You can't just name something a Forbidden Wing and expect people to not want to explore it. She's practically asking us to sneak in. Nope. Alright, pancakes have been eaten and I am fueled up for today's activities. Let's head out. That was an interesting difference in that scene. That was interesting. I guess, yeah. This playthrough, like I said, she would be in a better state of mind, at least somewhat, than last playthrough. Stella stands up, Gretchen hopping down from her chair to stand at Stella's side, and the two of them lead you to the door and out into the chilly morning air. The walk through town is quiet. It's early, and though you can smell the diner cooking up breakfast for hungry miners and brewing coffee for cops to sip while ignoring the horrors plaguing Scarlet Hollow, Main Street is deserted. You and Stella feel like the only people in the world watching the sun rise over the abandoned library. The estate looms over the three of you, more unwelcoming than it's ever been, as if the small bit of time you've spent away in a warm house, still full of the love that built it has made the mere thought of the crumbling manor unbearable. Wow, I can barely remember the last time I made my way up that hill. Pearland didn't exactly make it easy for me to see Tabitha, so we usually hung out anywhere else we could think of. Your aunt had a tendency to shoot first and ask questions later, so I figured it was best not to risk winding up at the business end of her shotgun. You only make that mistake once. It's sad to see how much worse it's gotten. The cliff used to be a lot farther away from the house, but it's claimed a lot of ground. The place looks like it could fall any day now. Used to be such a beautiful house. Alright. I wonder what Wayne's gonna be like this time, because certainly do not have, like he's been a bit more confrontational than last playthrough. Together you cross the threshold, the ancient door creaking open to reveal the familiar dusty foyer. Knowing Tabitha isn't here to keep you in line gives the place a new feeling, like you have complete ownership of the place and that any secrets it once held are yours to be uncovered, if only you can figure out where to look. You can feel how much of the floor is tilted. Jeez, this place really has gone to the dogs since the last time I was here. Everything feels so much older and disused. I can't believe Tabitha is still living here. I'm sure she has a lot of memories tying her to the place, but it feels like it could come down around our ears any second. So, where to first? I figure the closet is probably gonna be cleared out the same, so yeah. Let's go up to my room first. Oh, got something out there you want to show me? Still gives you a flirtatious wink. Lead the way. The two of you make your way up the rickety stairs and into the guest room. The moment you enter the room, Gretchen and Furfur start growling at each other. Of course they do. Oh, this is gonna be trouble. Gretchen lets out a short, sharp yap. That's all it takes for Furfur to launch from the bed, skittering away down the hallway. You hear her gallop down the stairs, undoubtedly returning to her spot in the kitchen. Gretchen is victorious. Anyway, if I remember correctly, this is Pearland's old room, right? Tabitha really wasted no time in getting this place turned over for guests. Someone has been here, the closet is wide open, and its contents have been dragged out into the room, a discolored residue smeared on some of the larger boxes, giving you a hint as to who might be behind the invasion of privacy. Yep. Has been cleared out. Holy shit, that mess has got to be Wayne, right? I think I'd know if you were that messy. Does that mean this is where Pearland died? I wouldn't know. Tabitha hasn't really said anything about it. But she died in her sleep, so one can assume. It's okay, now you can sleep in my bed for the rest of the week. If Tabitha gets mad, oh well. She shouldn't have made you sleep in a dead lady's bed without even telling you. Check in on the opossum. You make your way to the dresser, pulling out the drawer to check on the little opossum who lived there and the larger one that joined it. But they're gone, not even the bread remains. It's just an empty drawer. Oh, that's probably the opossums that are in the desk in the Forbidden Wing, right? Oh, that's a fun detail. Cause I did remember when I saw the opossums in the drawer. I remembered the ones in the desk in the Forbidden Wing, but I was assuming they were just different ones, and this was just a fun little running joke through the chapters that was going to be separate from that. But no, they're the same ones. How are you getting changed? I could give you some privacy. Or not, whichever. There's usually a little opossum in here. I hope he's okay. No, all those clothes have opossum stink on them. But the opossums are nowhere to be found. Just looking around for clues and stuff. Furfur must have scared off the opossums. We have to find them. Those nasty little opossums left. Finally left. Thank God. Close the drawer. So there's usually a little opossum in there. Hope he's okay. Oh, opossums are so cute. Weird that one lives in the drawer right next to where you sleep, but I guess I'm sorry he wandered off. And I'm glad you took that shower at my place. You slide the drawer shut. The closet was not like this yesterday morning. I investigate the closet. I don't like the look of this, Stella. Go to the door to the Forbidden Wing instead. The closet was not like this yesterday morning. So your room's been tampered with. All the more reason to check it out. You and Stella cross the room to investigate the open closet door. Yep, it's open. The back of it hangs slightly ajar. It looks like it was never a solid wall at all, but rather a door, previously hidden behind the pile of boxes and papers that was dragged out of the way overnight. There is no doorknob, only a small circle of metal where a doorknob would be, punctuated with a keyhole. Is that a hidden door? Yes, I knew it. I knew there was going to be hidden passages. Stella whips out her camera, nearly fumbling and dropping it in excitement, but she regains her steadiness, aiming in the gloom of the closet at the... Fuck. Sliver of light from the room beyond. Sellers, you're not going to believe this. We're here in the Scarlet Estate trying to get to the bottom of what exactly is going on around town, and have just uncovered this little door, and this hidden door, in Lilac's closet. Think you're right, Stella Wayne is behind this? Don't you think Tabitha's going to get mad for filming in her, like, legal action mad? Going in, we found our way into the Forbidden Wing. You're going to be the death of me, sell it. You going first? I'm too scared. This is too easy, I don't trust it. 7's a secret passage. I think you're right, Wayne is behind this. Does that mean Wayne knows about the layout of the Scarlet Estate? I do wonder about that. I still wonder who is inhabiting Wayne's body. Because, I mean, Wayne on his own, knowing about this, again, like, Wayne on his own, I'm gonna, like, I said this last playthrough, Wayne on his own knowing about the Scarlet Estate would make sense. Him and Tabitha were together at some point. Wouldn't be surprising if he went over there at some point. Not necessarily went to the Forbidden Wing, though, but, like, yeah, maybe he did, maybe. But also, I still remember in Chapter 3 of my first playthrough, Episode 3 of my first playthrough, when I asked who he was, he said, this body is Wayne, not Wayne. So it's something else in his body, but I wonder who it is. You know, I'm really starting to wonder what he has to do with all of this. It's clearly got to be a Scarlet, right? I mean, my guess would be the boy in the wall. That would be my guess, is it's the boy in the wall. Because he would know the layout of the Scarlet Estate at least to some amount. And he specifically wanted us to come over to the Forbidden Wing to see what we end up seeing over here. I don't know. I don't like how close he seems to think he is with you, but maybe he knows what's going on. We're going in. Yep. That's right. You both step forward, Stella filming as she dramatically opens the door, its hinges creaking appropriately. Together you enter the Forbidden Wing of the Scarlet Estate. The room you find yourselves in is mostly barren with no real furniture to speak of. The wallpaper is peeling with neglected, the floor tilts uncomfortably beneath you. Already you can see why Tabitha would be so intent on keeping you out of these unused rooms. This doesn't feel like a place for humans anymore. Stella continues forward excitedly, camera held up to catch every detail. You follow her into the hallway beyond the small, forgotten room. Wow, an exclusive look at the ruins of the Scarlet Estate. Even if we don't find anything supernatural in here, this is already great stuff. Also, yeah, you've probably already noticed, I'm probably going to be reading a lot more of the text of this chapter, even if it seems to repeat, because I want to make sure I feel like this chapter is the one that would change the most. Like, even in this section before, like, any of the stuff with Tabitha or at the farm or anything, I feel like this section could even have some differences in there, hence why I'm reading through most of the text, at least. 4 years long hallway. Dust dances in the weak sunlight, beaming in through cracked glass. A tinge of mildew stings your nose, warning you away, though there's nowhere else to run now. An ornate entryway, its door long gone, breaks the monotony of the faded wallpaper, and a staircase looms at the far end. Oh, those are fresh prints. She zooms in on what you notice is a trail of human footprints along the dusty floor of the hallway. Looks like our friend has been doing some exploring of his own. We'll have to be careful. I'd rather not run into him while sneaking around in here. Investigate the ornate entryway. You both make your way to the dark doorway in the middle of the corridor. It seems like some kind of entertainment room, the sort you'd expect out of fancy rich people who wanted to show off. It would feel elegant if not for the massive crack that runs through the entire length of the floor. The air here stinks of mildew. You can see why Tabitha doesn't want you exploring these rooms. There is a large painting on the far wall of the room. From a distance it looks like it might depict the town. Jeez, it's a miracle any of this is still standing. Tabitha should really think about moving before this half of the house decides to finish falling off the cliff. As Stella excitedly films B-roll of the ruined parlor, something else catches your eye too. A bookshelf, or rather what's left of a bookshelf, hanging by a single rusted hinge. Its sagging shelves reveal some sunless space beyond, once hidden, now exposed by the rot of this house. And it seems that Stella has spotted it too, as she turns her camera towards the dark entryway. A hidden room? Oh man, the fans are gonna love this. Examine the painting first again. I don't think there's gonna be... I don't remember if there's anything particular about this that was... Yeah. But still good to use all my options. The painting highlights a number of old buildings and locales, many of which you've already visited. The town hall, the estate, the mines, and the clinic still called the hospital at the time of this painting. The church, and then there's somewhere you've yet to see, the historical Callaway/Tremaine homesteads. And that would be our little town. Oh, there's a plaque under it. In commemoration of Enoch Scarlett, head of the Scarlet Hollow Landmark Revitalization Project. Let the past never be forgotten. Ugh. I feel like writing something like that is just asking to wind up gathering dust in a neglected room like this. Let this be a lesson to all of my viewers looking to immortalize their life's work. So, all two of you, maybe. Investigate the hidden room. Stella takes you by the hand, her firm grip lending you a sense of security even as you both step over the wide gap in the floor. Together you duck between the shelves, stepping over water-damaged books and into the darkness of the hidden room. The space is dark, its features barely illuminated by the faint light trickling in through the myriad of cracks and holes on the walls. The wallpaper, a deep exquisite red, adds a blood-like glow to the dimness. The walls are lined with ornate display cabinets, some empty, some still presenting their antique treasures. Nestled between the cabinets, a single tall bookshelf remains standing, its occupants dusty but mostly intact. But all of these are ornamental details. Your focus is drawn to an expensive-looking antique desk in the corner of the room. Gretchen barks out at the rest of the room, attempting to intimidate whatever it is she smells. Shh, Gretchen, we wouldn't want anybody to find us in here. Who knows, they might try to seal it back up Amontadillo style. Gretchen quiets down, but that doesn't stop her from thoroughly investigating the space. This is it, Stellars, the kind of find every urban explorer hopes for. A hidden room locked away in the Scarlet Estate, full of weird artifacts and keepsakes no one was ever supposed to find. They weren't counting on a couple of investigative documentarians like us to go looking, but here we are, about to blow your family's sordid past wide open. That's what this YouTuber is. I've been thinking of operating with that instead of the YouTube thing. Then I wouldn't have to explain what YouTube is to any old people who ask what I do for a living. Not that the old people around here don't already know about it, and have YouTube accounts just so they can follow my channel. But you know, hypothetical future old people I might meet. Examine the desk. You step towards the desk. Maybe there's something worth finding in its drawers. Top drawer. Top drawer mostly contains old-timey letter writing materials, complete with a fancy dagger-shaped letter opener and a wax stamping kit emblazoned with the initials ES. The wax seems lightly gnawed. Underneath, you find a pile of crumbling financial documents, scrawled in neat cursive in every spot that needed a signature is the name Enoch Scarlett. This must be his desk, meaning this must also be his study. And hidden among the documents, you find an ancient photograph. A stern blonde man stares up at you from the detritus at the bottom of the drawer, a face you're surprised to find you recognize. It's the man from your vision, the one in the hospital bed. Hey, I've seen that before. That's the picture of Theodore they put in the local history books. That's your great-great-uncle or something. The one who died in the collapse. Tell Stella about your vision, yeah. I had a vision about him yesterday. No way. You didn't die in the collapse. Stella focuses the camera on you as you explain the vision you saw yesterday. She's clearly shocked by this revelation, drinking in every word, eyes growing wide. But the whole town was told he died in the collapse. For over a century, that's the story we've been told. But if he didn't, what happened after he was brought back here? Maybe he never made it home. If he died in the hospital from his injuries, that isn't so different from dying in the collapse, right? Close the drawer. You close the drawer. Open the bottom one, should be where the opossums are, right? The bottom drawer offers some resistance as you try to pull it out, It seems that it was locked, though the last bit of metal attempting to hold it shut seems to have rusted to the point of uselessness years ago. It gives in with a sharp tug, rotting wood splintering softly somewhere within the century-old desk. There they are. You're surprised to see familiar faces staring up at you from within a nest of odd glass files. It's the little opossums from your room. It seems they too found their way to the Forbidden Wing. Gretchen barks and strains to get at the poor beasts, breaking the eerie silence of the Forbidden Wing with a cacophony of doggy wrath. The opossums in turn fall over, feigning death. Jeez, Gretchen, calm down. I'm not letting you go after a couple poor little possums. You don't even have teeth. This isn't a fight you're gonna win. Stella reaches out a foot, holding the squirming Gretchen close to her chest, and slides the door shut. The opossums are safely stored away where the bloodthirsty toothless pug can't try to wrap her gums around their little throats. Step away from the desk. And go back to the hallway. Yeah, see where the footprints lead. You find yourself on the third floor of the estate for the first time. As you take in your surroundings, Stella slowly pans the camera down the length of the hall, working to build dread and tension for her future viewers. She clears her throat again, resuming her narration in a charmingly professional hosting voice. Clearly, Lilac and I are not the only people who have passed through the supposedly forbidden wing. Who knows, we might wind up running into someone else sneaking around in here. If you're watching this as found footage after the two of us went missing, now you know where to start looking for our bodies. She drops the camera after her morbid joke, her voice returning to its usual cadence. Looks like the footprints go all the way down this hallway, into that far door. Window, box from nearest door, middle room, or the farthest room. Must save here since it's been a bit. Been a while since I saved, yeah. Approach the window. Carefully approach the window at the far end of the hall. That sure is a cliff. There is nothing below the window but the tops of distant trees, the ground having crumbled away. The only thing stopping you from plummeting to your death is the straining foundation that somehow still holds this place together. At least for now. Jesus. Move the boxes from in front of the nearest door. The boxes slide easily out of the way. It's almost like they were placed there to make the room less conspicuous rather than as any kind of actual barrier. You push past them into the room beyond. I was so fixated on the footprints, I didn't even realize there was a room there. That probably means it has some really good stuff, the kind of stuff people put away hoping nobody will ever find it. The kind of stuff that makes for a great video. The room is coldly empty. The large antique bed is made, its sheets ancient and dusty, but still somehow giving off the feeling of tidiness. This is the room where we find the letters, right? Oh, I'm interested to see how that, what happens then. What the text is when we find them, if it changes. Even with cobwebs stretched between each corner of its four-poster frame. So it's the desk. You step towards the desk, its drawers practically overflowing with stationery. You start opening drawers. Each one is filled with paper, stacked haphazardly, practically spilling out as you attempt to dig through for anything important. All these bills and receipts are in Edward Dean's name. Guess we know whose desk this is. The rest of the room is so neat and tidy. It's amazing that her drawers are such a hoarder's nest of old paper. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Scarlet Ladies have always been like this, pretending they have everything together on the surface, then being a total mess on the inside. Sounds like Tabby to a T. No, don't tell her I said that. When you reach the bottom right drawers, you find something entirely different. Greeting cards. Letters. Small wrapped packages. Some opened, some sealed, some crumpled into messy balls. You open one of the cards. Both pages are taken up by a handwritten note. Tabby, hope you're doing well. Not a day goes by that I don't miss you. Hope Perland treats you to your best Christmas yet. I'm not sure what sort of doodads you're into these days, so I sent a little something that made me think of you. I made sure they were the best shells of the bunch. Not sure how rare any of them are, but they're awful pretty, and they've got that beach smell. And make sure you put your ear up to them, too. It doesn't compare to the real thing, but it still comes close enough. And in case you think that makes me a cheapskate, I made sure to send along a little cash, too, so you can get yourself something a little nicer than glorified beach trash. Make sure you get Perland to take you to the nice toy store, because that's where I'd take you if I was there. If you get the time, I'd love to hear from you. I miss you so much, Tabby, and I'm always thinking of you. You can come out and visit me anytime. I know you've always wanted to see what it's like out east. I've made sure to write out my address on the back of this card, just in case you didn't know how to get a hold of me. Been missing you, my incredible, wonderful, amazing daughter. Yep. All my love, Dad. Oh my god. Stella lowers the camera, averting its gaze from the deeply personal letters. Tabby said her dad never tried to get in touch, that he just abandoned her. You pull out another from closer to the top of the pile. Happy birthday, Tabby. It's me again, your old dad. So the big 2-0. I can't believe my daughter is such an adult. In my mind, you're still that bouncy little kid doing cartwheels on the front lawn, telling me what various sounds animals make, like you're the professor of animal noises. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I forgot that he still sent her letters out to her 20th birthday. I still wonder how my character knowing that Tabitha thinks her dad just left completely. I wonder how that's gonna change this. I have no idea if you read these, but I'll keep writing them, even if sometimes it feels like I'm writing to a ghost. I mean, we haven't spoken in almost 15 years. You're a whole human being now, and I have no idea what you're like. I like to think we'd get along, though. As always, my address is on the back. I hope you'll decide to come visit me one of these days. I've got a guest room all set up, just in case. It's always ready for you, kid. I love you, and I always will, no matter who you turned out to be. Love, Dad. There are years and years of these. The bottom drawer is almost entirely unopened envelopes, dated from when Tabitha would have been just a kid, all from him. It kind of looks like Edwardine and Perlan were keeping these from Tabitha, on purpose, for practically her entire life. I don't even know if we should tell her. I mean, there could have been a good reason, right? Like, maybe he was awful, and telling her would just be painful and dredge up bad memories. But we have to tell her, Stella. She thinks her dad's a deadbeat. That isn't right. This isn't right. I'd want to know. Tabitha deserves one good thing in her life. I don't care if she yells at us for snooping around back here. If we tell her, she'll know we were in here. Do we need to make a relationship with Perlan even more complicated than it already is? For all we know, he's that or he sucks. How about you tell her after I leave? I'm not sure I want to deal with the fallout of this. You know her better than I do, Stella. What do you think she'd want us to do? Say nothing. Nothing. I don't think Tabby's the kind of person to hide from the truth. She'd want to know. And I'd want to know too, I think, if I were her. Stella stuffs a handful of letters into her bag. Search the closet. You make your way to the closet. It's as lifeless and tidy as the rest of the room. It seems that Edwardine kept things neat and orderly, or as neat and orderly as she could, considering the decaying state of this place. This looks to me like where Perlan would go shopping for Tabby's clothes. It's exactly the sort of thing she wears. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've seen her in that dress before. The only thing here besides her clothes and shoes is a box, shoved off to one side. You pick it up. Right, yeah. Child-size overalls, striped shirts, and a small pair of trousers with suspenders still attached. One of those little sailor suits boys from the 50s were always wearing. Boys' clothes, that's weird. When was the last time a boy was born into the family? Right, the creepy fucking note. When you pull out the last shirt, a note is revealed tucked away in the bottom of the box in a protective plastic sleeve. It's scrawled in almost illegible handwriting, written in some thick brown watery ink that's cracked with age. Mommy, I am in here too, and I love you. What the... As Stella handles the note, Gretchen anxiously stomps on the floorboards. It's okay, Gretchen. You don't have to squirm so much. It's just paper. Really, really creepy paper. Stella zooms in on the unsettling note, making sure the camera takes in every detail. Okay, I got the footage I need. You should put that back before you get a curse from it or something. You drop the note back into the box, once again covering it with the clothes. Folks, what you just saw was found in the bottom of a box of boys' clothes hidden away in Edwardine Scarlett's closet. Yet the only children she supposedly ever had were 2 girls. This mystery is getting so thick it's gone from gumbo to gravy. I found records yesterday, and actually Edwardine had a stillborn boy, middle name Charles. That note's just a prank, right? Jesus Christ. I'm scared. That was scary. Say nothing. Yeah, tell her about the records. Stella's eyes go wide. No way. You're just winding me up, right? Because that is a bombshell. I mean, do you think Charlie, but then... Oh my god. Okay, hear me out. What if he wasn't stillborn? I mean, he would have been a bastard son, right? And with Enoch the way he was, and the fact that your family has the whole Southern Gothic thing going on, I hope we find out more about this. Forget about Gravy, the mystery just boiled over. You're done here, return to the hallway. You can still return to the hallway. Explore the middle room. Oh boy, we've got a haunted nursery, everybody. Check the bookshelf. Top shelf is occupied by antique picture books, Dick and Jane nursery rhymes, and ancient editions of Grimm's fairy tales. Lower shelves are full of educational material from children's encyclopedias to writing practice workbooks. With the sheer number of learning-oriented books on the shelf, you get the impression that the children who lived here were not supposed to be interested in fun and fiction, as they were in diction and spelling. Your family may not have been wealthy, but your family may have been wealthy, but maybe not in joy. Move through a few of the practice workbooks, gently turning the near crumbling pages. Reasons why she's taking Mary Bell to the zoo. 1, we've been very good girls and have not cried for a whole week. Mary Bell says elephants are big and I would like to see. And I think it would be fun and I would have a good time. All are signed with carefully scrawled signature of Alexandra Scarlett. You flip through the rest of the book, your eyes unfocused at the many practice sentences, letter copying pages flash by, but something near the back of the book gives you pause. A section that starts with the prompt, today Alexandra continues with talk to the boy in the wall. Yep. Boy in the wall? Are you kidding me? People are gonna think I planted this or something. It's just too creepy. Hold on a minute. The little boy's closed the note, and the fact that Edwardine had a bastard son at some point. No boy in the wall? It's all starting to add up. Then here, return to the hall. Hey, hold on. This encyclopedia has something sticking out of it. Daddy plays with me and Mary Bell if my family goes to the zoo, if Mommy and Grandpa take us to work, if me and Mary Bell and Mommy and Daddy and Grandpa have a picnic. All are signed with the carefully scrawled signature of Alexandra Scarlett. There's a strange, fantastical element to these pictures. Everyone is smiling and sitting together as any family would in a child's drawing, and yet it feels like these are drawn in the same hopeful way a child would draw a unicorn. Expressions of some reality that Alexandra could only dream of. There are less joyful illustrations as well. Daddy napping shows their father sleeping in a chair, a bottle of brown liquid conspicuously drawn on the table next to him. The girls hovering in the hallway some distance away. Mommy's going to work shows the girls crying in the upstairs window of the house as their mother walks away, an angry frown scrawled on her face. Wow, these are awful. The viewers are going to eat this up. You get the feeling these are more accurate depictions of the girls' lives. The last picture you pull out gives you pause. There's a new figure here seemingly drawn behind a barrier. The two girls sit on the other side, smiles on their cartoon faces. The boy in the wall. There he is again. I'm assuming at this point he was definitely real. I wonder what he looked like or if they ever actually saw him. Stella makes sure to linger on the image, getting plenty of B-roll on the scribbled lines. You're done here, return to the hall. You and Stella make your way back to the hallway. Follow the trail into the farthest room. Yeah, sure. Gretchen begins to shake in fear, whining meekly as she glances around the room with wide, anxious eyes. It's okay, Gretchen, it's just a big empty room. There's nothing to be scared of. Oh, right, this is the one with, like, the summoning circle or whatever the fuck on there. I'm still not entirely sure on what the purpose of that would have been. Like, I don't think they ever told it directly, right? Like, and I haven't been able to figure out from the information given what it might be. Stella crosses the room, turning the camera on the door to the far side. Like the way you entered it has been left ajar. It too has been left ajar, as if inviting you to explore what might be behind it. The doors to this room seem like they would be almost totally invisible if they hadn't been left open. There aren't handles or anything, just keyholes. So it's got to be a hidden passage. Amazing, your family really pulled out all the stops when it comes to creepy stuff. Follow Stella. Oh, do I not get to see the summoning circle this time? It might have been because of my mystic trait last time or something. Alright, I'm gonna save since it's right before the big scene of finding this room. You exit into a short hallway. There are stairs here leading back down to the lower floors, but there is also another door. It's hanging ajar, the many locks and deadbolts along its edge, glimmering in the weak morning light. The doorframe itself is gouged and splintered, evidence that some desperate creature tried to save itself from the room beyond, time and time again. Holy shit. Gretchen's whining reaches a fever pitch. Jeez, okay, I get it. The scary room is too scary for a little dog like you. You don't have to go in, just don't go running off anywhere. See how the edge of the door is all messed up? Looks to me like something didn't want to be put back in there. Before you can stop her, Stella steps into the little room, her camera drinking in every detail. Oh my god. You step forward to join her, Gretchen remaining rooted to the floor outside. Right, I forgot the doll gets moved in here. This was a prison cell. Everything about this place reeks of neglected humanity. The walls are covered in scratches, legible words mixed in with the nonsense of desperate clawing. The one window, set too high in the far wall, is fitted with a thick pane of glass, as if the iron bars just beyond it wouldn't be enough to hold the imprisoned. You can't help but notice that the doll from your closet sits watching you from the bed, one eyelid drooping. It adds an extra layer of menace to the already deeply unsettling room. Look at all these scratches in the walls. Did a person do all this? I can't imagine how much it would have hurt. It stinks too, like nothing I've ever smelled before. I've been in sewer drains that smelled better. Tabby. What happened here, Lilac? What the hell happened here? Your eyes are drawn to the massive, almost letters, dug as deep into the brick as this cell's prisoner could manage, highlighted with whatever pigments are available. That doll used to be in my closet. I hate that thing. Stella walks over to the doll and examines it. Property of Alexandra. Kids always talked about how she went missing. It's one of our town's urban legends. I wonder if they ever found her body. Maybe there wasn't a body to find. Is this how Alexandra went missing? The boy in the wall. Who do you think was kept here? Jesus Christ. Your subscribers are gonna go nuts for this. Do you think, Tabitha, are we sure we should post this video? You should post this video? Fuck this, man. I'm done with today's adventure. Okay, we have seen this room. Let's get the hell out of here, Stella. Turn and leave. This is how Alexandra went missing? Jesus. This doesn't all feel like old skeletons in the closet either. The smell is too fresh, and done on those, and some of the locks on those doors are modern. Stella lets the statement hang in the air. I just hope Tabitha didn't know about all this. To think it's possible that the whole time we knew each other, all those nights we stayed up late talking, she might have known this existed. No, she didn't know. She wouldn't have let something like this happen. Hopefully she didn't know. I don't think we ever got full confirmation in my first playthrough whether Tabitha did or didn't know. Let's just get out of here before someone slams the door on us, or... You and Stella are interrupted by a sound wrapping around you. Music. The tinkling of piano keys played by a clumsy hand. They echo up a narrow staircase at the end of the hall, one you've yet to travel. It's Wayne. You hear that creepy music, right? Stella seems uncharacteristically shaken. She clutches at your arm, the camera trembling in her hand. Oh god, someone else is in here. The player is doing this on purpose. It's drawing you forward, inviting you to investigate, asking you to choose to find it. The two of you stagger back into the hall. Do you think it's him? Wayne? Stella seems to swallow her momentary fear, straightening back up and letting the light return to her features. If it is him, he could have information. He seems like he knows a lot about what's been going on in town. And who knows, maybe he'd be more willing to talk now that we found all those secrets your family has been hiding. I'm gonna save. Again. Go alone, go together. Leave. Take her in and follow the music. Wayne clearly set all this up for you to see. It's only right for you to hear what he has to say. You silently take Stella's hand, squeezing tightly as you pull her towards the music. Come on, Gretchen, I'll carry you. Stella scoops up Gretchen, the pug still visibly shaking with fear. With the fear this place seemed to instill in her, though Stella's comforting grip seems to ease her poor little doggy spirit. That's right, my little lady. Nothing bad happened besides being shaken to my core, I guess. But nothing physical. We're just seeing one scary man and then we're leaving. Her grip is firm and warm and reassuring, and together you make your way down the hall to the source of the eerie music. The stairs take you into what you have to assume was once a servant's quarters, a network of cramped passageways hidden away beyond the expansive rooms of the estate without so much as a window for illumination. But you persist and descend deeper into the bowels of the Scarlet Estate, the echoing piano your only company. Soon enough you see light again, the sun creeping in through the edges of a nearly hidden door. You're at the end of another long corridor. Its high ceilings and tall windows are almost disorienting as you step out from the cramped, gloomy stairwell. The music echoes mournfully in the vast space, a chorus of wind adding a melancholic harmony as it whips in from the overgrown courtyard outside. But as you make your way into one of the side rooms, utterly dark save for the open doorway on the far wall, the music stops. There's no warning, no gentle fade or dramatic slamming of keys. There he is. When you make your way to the music room, Wayne is already standing, his eyes glimmering in the darkness behind his stained veil. I'd hoped you'd come alone. Well, you'd better get used to me being around, because your days of harassing Lilac are over. From now on, you'll have to harass the both of us. That's alright, you can enjoy your slattern. You and I are already bound by our fates. You need to come to understand that if you expect to help anyone, yourself included. You're running out of time. He slips away into the shadows. What did he just call me? Whatever, let's just leave, yeah? Now, I think we've seen enough. And the floor down here feels like it could give way and throw us down the cliff at any second. I still wonder, yeah, why Wayne specifically seems to dislike Stella a lot more. Because he doesn't dislike, like, any of the other characters in town. Like, he's dismissive of them, but he specifically insults Stella. I wonder, like, and also this playthrough outright gave an implied threat towards her in Chapter 3. I do wonder what the specific... It's why I don't trust him, because there doesn't seem to be any reason I know for that, but, The warmth you and Stella shared last night seems to fall apart in the fresh air, shaken by the unearthed secrets of your family's past. A tense silence holds between the two of you as your mind does its best to grapple with what you found. The cell, the doll, Enoch's occult sanctuary, the boy in the wall, and his outfits in Edwardine's closet. Is it possible your cousin has known about all of this? Your eyes dart back up to Stella. Her gaze is fixed on what might be on some non-existent point far off in the distance, and you can only try to imagine what she might be thinking. Maybe she feels you're connected in some impossible way to what you've just discovered, like you carry whatever went on there in your blood. And Tabitha who had lived under the same roof as that cell in her entire life. The silence feels like a terrible thing, like detritus, clogging the air, suffocating the fragile growth of a barely formed relationship. There is a feeling that the longer you wait to say something, anything, the more your tentative relationship will unravel second by second. So say something. Say anything, just break this awful silence already. I'm gonna save, because I feel like last playthrough I probably didn't say the best thing at this specific spot, so I'm gonna... Maybe the dungeon was just a sex thing, oh my god. I forgot about that fucking... See, I still don't know, because I gave the, do you think Tabitha knows? Not necessarily suggesting that she would know, but that clearly wasn't the right thing to say in that moment. So... Are you mad at me? Am I mad at you? No, of course not. Why would I never think you have anything to do with that. Just like it's obvious Tabby doesn't have anything to do with that. We have to see her. She deserves to know what we found in there. God, those letters from her dad. Her mom kept so much from her. It makes me so mad just thinking about it. I didn't want my cousin to drive a wedge between us. We trust each other, right? You've always been so quick to defend her. How can I trust that you're not in on all of this? What if you're wrong? What if she does something terrible to me? I don't know if I can do this. Tabitha doesn't scare me and I'm not about to run away from her. Let's go. You're right, we need to see her. She deserves the benefit of the doubt. You're right, we need to see her. She deserves to know what we found in there. Okay, if it's that important to you, let's go. If this is that important to you, I'll come along. But I don't trust her, Stella. Remain silent. We trust each other, right? I don't think... She said everything right last night. She was there. Both of you were there together. Doesn't that mean something? Hasn't she earned a little bit of trust? Can't we just give her the benefit of the doubt for one conversation? I'm sorry, I have to go. Okay, you can come with me if you want. I'd like it if you did, but I'm not spending any more time arguing in these woods. That might have not been the right thing. I'm gonna roll back that save, because... I didn't realize the fact that is, yeah, probably pointing some level of blame on Tabitha. Let me see. She deserves the benefit of the doubt. A palpable wave of relief washes over Stella. Yeah, really? Okay, then we're going to the mines. Come on. There are no picketers outside of the mine today. The only sound is the constant low industrial clinking of unending productivity. The only sign of life, the slow-moving machinery beyond the rickety chain link fence. The Scarlet Hollow mines are ticking along as they always have. There's nothing here to stop you from seeing your cousin. Alright, looks like the coast is completely clear. You and Stella make your way through the front gates and up the short path to your cousin's office. Stella doesn't bother to knock before twisting the door open and confidently stepping into the trailer. I'm going to save before this scene. This feels like a very big scene. So I'm going to save. Yeah, I'm noticing the whispering. That's presumably the dredgelings then, yeah. I didn't specifically check to see if there were any dredgelings outside, but I'm guessing that's what that would be. Tabby. Stella, Lilac, what are you doing here? Why are you holding a shotgun? I clean it sometimes. Guns need that kind of thing. You know that. I just want to see more action lately than usual. Need some attention. That's all. I'd prefer a knock in the future. It's not safe for you to barge in unannounced, not with everything I have going on lately. If I'd been any jumpier, I could have shot one of you. Think about that next time. Let's not do the small talk today, Tabby, please. Stella pulls up the chair, and the two of you sit down across from your increasingly anxious cousin. What's going on? Why are you being all serious? We just came from the Forbidden Wing. Tabby, have you been there? Stella's question is answered with silence. Your cousin's eyes dart away, unable to meet your gaze or Stella's as she avoids the answer. So has she been in there, and does she know about this? Oh. You wouldn't believe what we found in there. The things your family hid from you. I feel like her avoiding the answer specifically... See, I didn't think she knew anything about this from last playthrough, but I'm starting to think that maybe she did. Tabitha, before you're saying this wasn't my idea, don't get defensive, let her talk. We're not attacking you, Tabitha, we're just trying to talk. Tabitha, we found birthday cards from your dad, and there are lots of them. No need to interrupt. I'll let Stella do the talking. You quietly sit back, letting Stella continue. Like Enoch's study, it was behind an old bookcase, and there was all this occult stuff in there. What, like being in the occult is that surprising? He was a rich man in the early 1800s. Of course he was into the occult. That was like a hobby back then. You know I know that. I wouldn't have come all the way out here if that was it. We also found these old clothes in Grandma Eddie's room. Boys' clothes, and a freaky note that looked like it might have been written in blood. It said, I'm still here and I love you, or something. I don't know what that means, but it was in plastic. She clearly wanted to keep it. And these birthday cards from your dad, all stashed in a drawer. What? Someone had been hiding them from you, Tabby. He loves you. He sent them every year. No, I would have been told. Perlane was a bitch, but she wouldn't, right? She wouldn't. There was a dungeon in there, Tabitha. I want to believe that you've never seen any of this. I want to believe that so badly. We're not trying to jump to any conclusions. We're just trying to make sense of what we found in there. Yeah, do you want to see the cards? We brought some of them with us. That's a lot of scary stuff, Tabitha. Remain silent. I'm gonna save. Do you want to see the cards? But none of that is even important. Because at the end of at the end of it all was this cell, a prison cell. Somebody was being kept in there. We found these old notebooks talking about a boy living in the walls too, and I feel like it's all connected. Especially since there was this creepy old doll in there. I feel like maybe your family was keeping some of their own kids in that room. And just before we left, we ran into Wayne, and I'm pretty sure he's the one who made sure we found it, but I don't know why. He was all mysterious and called me some old curse word and left. I don't know what you want me to say. Do you want me to say my family, all my dead relatives are evil? That they did evil things before I was ever born, and now it's up to me to drag it out into the sun, to drag it all out into the sun and to apologize for acts that were never my fault? That Lilac and I had already decided how we felt about that. Neither one of us feel like we should have to pay for somebody else's sins. Why should I be sorry to be related to such awful, monstrous people? As if I had any choice. Or maybe you're saying I'm a part of this. Is that what you're implying, Stella? That I knew that maybe I've even... Oh, shit. That maybe I've even been a willing participant in my family's supposed crimes? I didn't know, Tabby. Of course I don't... Or, I don't know, Tabby. Of course I don't want to believe that, but that's why we came here, to... Yes. Let's not leave out my cousin. Is this what you think, Lilac? Nothing we saw in there is ancient history. It's also affecting this town, the scars include, but I was hoping you'd help us stop it. I want to be able to trust you, but you don't make it easy. Tell us what you actually know, Tabitha. We know there's more. What do I think? I feel betrayed. I came here for you. Don't you want to be different than Perlan? Now's your chance. I don't know enough to think anything. I just came to talk. Do you want to see the cards from your dad, Tabitha? We brought some with us. Remain silent. I'm gonna save again. Because Nothing we saw in there is ancient history. It's still affecting the sound and the scars include, but I was hoping you'd help us stop it. You know, being a Scarlet hasn't been all good, Tabby. You're always sulking around, talking about how hard it is to keep the whole town going the way you do. Sulking? I don't sulk. I'm just tired. I don't need your pity. That's not going to change anything. I just need to get this week over with. I need everything to work out, then things will go back to normal and people will stop barging into my office to accuse me of whatever you were going to accuse me of. Tabby, we're not attacking you. I'm your friend. Lilac is family. If you keep pushing us away, are you going to have anyone left? But before you can say another word, there is a knock at the trailer door. Oh my fucking god, of course. Of course it's the cops. Miss Scarlet, so sorry to bother you, but I've got a manner of police business that needs to be discussed. It concerns your cousin. You wouldn't happen to know Lilac's whereabouts. What do you fucking mean? I thought I got over this. Don't yell, we'll be out in a second. I have powerful build. If he tries anything, I can punch him. Well, if it isn't Lilac in the flesh. If you wouldn't mind coming with me, I'd like to ask you some questions down at the station. I'm gonna fucking punch you. Questions? What for? Yeah, officer, if you have questions, you can ask them now. I'm sure the three of us can help. Well, you see, this is more of an apprehending of a potential suspect. The suspect being your cousin, man. I'm gonna... The suspect. My cousin. But Lilac hasn't done anything wrong. We've been doing your job for you all week, and this is how you're gonna repay us. I'll handle this, Stella. Officer, I assume you haven't somehow forgotten who I am in the last 2 seconds. Oh, is she gonna defend me? I guess, maybe. No, ma'am, Tabitha Scarlet, owner of the Scarlet Mines. Of course I know who you are, ma'am. Yeah. Then you must know it wouldn't be a very good idea to test my patience by threatening my last remaining family member with an arrest. Do you know that? Miss Scarlet, if I may be frank, I don't serve the Scarlets, I serve this town. I'm good. And if you're attempting to stand in the way and keep me from doing my job, I may have to arrest you too. We're not trying to get in the way, Deputy. I just don't see what charges you could possibly be levying. I do like that Tabitha, because specifically the phrasing there makes me think that, yeah, because I got an achievement for reach an uneasy truce. From that conversation. And I think that did definitely get to Tabitha, what Stella said specifically about, like, if you keep pushing everyone away, you won't have anyone left eventually. And the specific way Tabitha phrased that, I feel like she definitely did listen to that. With, like, specifically, like, you're threatening to arrest my last remaining family member. I do like that she's defending us this playthrough. I very much, I am thinking I was wrong to jump to Tabitha is an evil, or not necessarily evil. I didn't think she was evil last playthrough, but I was kind of on the fuck Tabitha train last playthrough because of specifically how that ended. But this playthrough, I'm thinking I was wrong about her. We're not trying to get in the way, Deputy. I just don't see what charges you could possibly be levying. I'm still investigating the collapse of the Shaw mine earlier this week, and Lilac's involvement can't be overlooked. Hey, both of us were there, and we know Lilac has nothing to do with it. Stella, you're not helping. And if you remember correctly, Officer, Lilac is a bit of a hero dragging those kids out of the mine just in time. Doesn't that count for something? My fellow police officers and I have taken that into consideration, yes, but I don't think you have any evidence, Deputy. If either one of you ladies would let me speak, maybe I would actually be able to share the evidence that's been piling up against Lilac, but it doesn't seem to me like either of you are entirely interested in hearing it. See, this is why towns aren't run by Colbarians or influencers. They're run by unbiased professionals whose job it is to see through the bullshit of personal relationships and lay down the law on those who threaten the safety of their communities. Neither one of you is willing to see what's right in front of your eyes, so I'll do it for you. Unbiased. That's what you're being right now. Unbiased. Are you fucking kidding me? Franklin whips out a pair of handcuffs and in one swift police academy motion, clicks them into place around your wrists. Lilac, you have the right to remain silent. I could probably break them, right? They're metal, but I have powerful build. Are you really going to arrest a Scarlet? Don't you think that might be a pretty big mistake? Dude, I have been picking up the slack for your asses all week. I've been helping people. I have been! I have been doing a much better job at any of this bullshit. Officer, if you think I'm suspicious, you should see the dungeon we found in the Scarlet Estate this morning. Something is going on, but I have nothing to do with it. See, that line feels like I might be trying to throw Tabitha under the bus there somewhat. Like, not necessarily explicitly, but I'm not picking that one. Because, like, the only other people I would be trying to throw under the bus are the already dead Scarlets. So, like, that feels very much like it's a, hey, take Tabitha instead line or something. And I'm not doing that. She's defended me. I can't deal with this. I need to find the other stones. I need to figure out what's been going wrong. If you stop me, I feel like something bad is going to happen. Okay, I'll go quietly. You've got to be kidding me. This is an absolute joke. Unhand me, pig. I have my rights. You wouldn't arrest little me. Remain silent. You know what? Tabitha was pulling on the Scarlet. She was pulling the Scarlet things. Scarlet, are you really going to arrest the Scarlet? Don't you think that might be a pretty big mistake? Call me old-fashioned, but I don't think who you're related to should stand in the way of justice being served. This is not just. Oh my god. Now where was I? Right. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You're really doing this, aren't you? If you think this conversation is over, you've got another thing coming. I'll follow you all the way to the station, and you better believe I'm going to get a real shark of a lawyer involved. We'll tell you everything. You'll see this has all just been a huge misunderstanding. No, Stella. You'd better stay here and man the fort. I don't need you getting car sick on the way. But, Lilac, I can't just leave her. It's okay, I promise. By the end of the day, my cousin will walk out of the station with a clean record, and I'll have this joke of a deputy's badge flushed down the damn toilet. Deputy Franklin shoves you in the back of the squad car, ignoring Tabitha's threats as she hurries to her old BMW, intent on following behind as you're escorted to the police station. As you're shoved into the car, a voice crackles over the radio. Franklin, pick up already. We ain't got all day, boy. This is pissing me off so much. Is this just inevitable to happen? This is much more annoying than the last playthrough one. God, I hate the fucking cops in this game so much. They're just... Oh my god. I wonder if this was actually inevitable, or if there was something I could have done to prevent this. But, like, episode 2, I don't think I could have done anything. Maybe if I figure out what perk I can use to prevent all of what happens with the mind collapse. Because there's presumably one that, like, can prevent Rosalina from getting her... having to get her foot amputated. I wonder if I use that in Power Build, I wonder if that would be enough to get out of this. Apologies, Sheriff, I was just apprehending Lilac, as discussed over the radio. That's nice and all, but we need you up at the farms pronto. Got ourselves a possible 187 brewing. 10-4. Damn, this day just keeps getting crazier. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me! Suppose you'll have to come along for the ride, miss. Don't act like you have any right talking to me. Deputy Franklin wastes no time in turning on the sirens, blasting down the road towards whatever emergency is underway, with you in tow. This is possibly one of the few times he has ever been able to do this, and despite his sunglasses and stiff demeanor, there is definitely an excitement in the way he cruises around the treacherous mountain turns. I don't care. I hope he crashes. I know I'm in the car too, but you know. He's in a less protected area of the car. As the car pulls up to the farms, you feel it again, a tingling at the back of your skull, an urgency that almost like a hand pressing you gently forward, with the threat that it might become more forceful if you don't comply. Like, so much crying. Crying that you can only stop if you tend to it. There is another stone here, and it is refusing to let you ignore it. Deputy Franklin gets out of the car, leaving you in the back as he joins the assembled crowd. But before the deputy can get a word in, you can hear your cousin shouting from her car. Hey, what the hell is going on? This isn't the police station. Just a minor police emergency, ma'am. We'll have you and Lilac over at the station as soon as this is sorted. Whatever, fine, just make it quick, okay? Alright, Sheriff, what's the situation? I'll tell you what the damn situation is. That bastard Julius got a hold of my boy and he won't let him go. This is a kidnapping and you fellas better get in there and shoot the rat bastard shit stain before I do it myself. Oh, Duke's great. So yeah, Duke is here. There, now you're up to speed. Franklin, you're with me. Let's head on in and get a handle on things. I better go in first. The son of a bitch has the place all strung up with traps, but I know how to spot him. Mr. Calloway, it might be best you stay out here with your wife and me. This is police business now. And as far as I see it, it's family business and always has been. Whether or not you finally decided to get your sorry asses out here to finally do something about it. It's your fault he ever decided to take it on himself to go investigate what happened to Big Betty, all because you didn't listen. That's right, so now you owe me. I'll bring up the rear if that makes you feel like big tough guys, but you can't stop me, not while my boy's in trouble. Alright, I hear you. Your boy's in there, you want some peace of mind, I understand that. But don't you go making more problems than we already got, you hear me, Duke? Leave that gun with Irma. Fine, here. If something happens to me in there, you know how to use it. And you'd best use it. Please try to refrain from making threats of violence in front of officers of the law. Then you fellas better go and get our boy back. Without another word, the officers split up. Derrickson heads for the squad car while the three men start up to the hill to Julius's shack. Irma stands on her porch, clutching the shotgun and watching the other house intently. Tabitha, please help me out of here. Oh, god damn it, another cop's in here. Hey there, Lilac. Sorry you had to come along for the ride. Don't act nice. We'll have you back at the station soon enough. It sounds like this won't take long to settle. In the meantime, I'll keep you company. I'd rather not. The thing calling out to you is starting to lose its patience. You need to find a way out of here before it gets angry. Gonna save. Can you let me go? Oh, I'm sure you haven't, but that's why we're gonna bring you in to answer a few questions, so you can prove as much. And if we see that you really are a threat to the town, then we'll let you go, and that'll be that. What about innocent until proven guilty? Should be no problem since I'm completely innocent. Can you at least get me out of the handcuffs? How am I supposed to prove that? Aren't you afraid of what Tabitha will do when she finds out you abducted me? What about innocent and until proven guilty? Right, yeah, fucking... Is that how that goes? I'm joking, but of course there's no way to know if you're innocent unless we ask you questions like you're guilty. Just basic police work. You know, shut the fuck up. Don't you think Duke might escalate things? Oh, I bet on it. But it's not me who makes the big decisions. Sheriff Hugby always has the final say. And I suppose Duke made a good point about those traps. He does know him better than any of us. Maybe he winds up being more useful than not. At the very least, he won't be pissed at us when things don't go the way he wants. You know what? Let's. No, I'm gonna wait in silence. There is a sound coming from the house on the hill, shouting, angry and panicked. A frantic voice crackles over the radio. Dirksen, man down. The sheriff. The sheriff is down. What did I tell him? I told him to be careful and follow my lead, and now look at him. Mr. Calloway, if you could please clear the line and get Deputy Franklin to give me a proper status report. Deputy, is he breathing? And do you have eyes on Mr. Tremaine and the hostage? We're on our way to the basement now, sir. You better be careful, meathead, if you don't want to wind up like you're... You hear an ungodly noise over the radio. A gunshot and then static. Franklin, report. But then there is only silence. Damn it, Franklin. Deputy Derrickson hesitates briefly outside your door as if hoping someone might leave the farmhouse without his getting involved. But after a few seconds, he's heading up the hill, yelling something to Irma. Oh my god, wait! Hold on. Wait, I saw that. I saw that. It's fucking Reese, isn't it? The front door opens, the long arm reaches and grabbing Derrickson's keys where they were left on the dashboard. Lilac. Oh my god, it's Reese. Reese reaches from the car, hunching beside you as he fumbles with the tiny keys made even smaller in his monstrous hands. Oh my god, he looks so good. He looks so cool in this fucking, like, half monster form. Oh, this is an awesome design. Like, it's, like, not quite the monster design from the end of last chapter, near the end of last chapter, but it's, like, not quite his human design either. Oh, he looks so cool. I'm sorry I couldn't step in earlier. I hope you weren't too scared in there. The handcuffs fall to the ground with a metallic clatter. Reese is still talking, but you aren't really hearing him. Your mind fuzzy as the stone calls to you, drowning out the world. Also, the tail. Much longer tail now. He, like, has a full-on beastly form now. Like it's fully set in. It's not just, like, a half-grown tail. The handcuffs fall to the ground with a metallic clatter. Reese is still talking. Oh, wait, yeah, I already read that bit. It's so much louder outside the car. Farmhouse. Stone. Oh, like in the morgue. I get it. You don't have much choice. I won't stop you, but... He's interrupted. No, I wish I could talk to him more. Fucking goddamn it. I wish the stone wasn't making me have to go in there immediately. I want to talk to him more. He's Oh, hello, Color Printer. Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. It's very appreciated. We're playing Scarlet Hollow. I'm on Chapter 5 right now. This is my second playthrough of the game. And I am... If you're familiar with this game, I am almost going into the farmhouse. Let me think of the summary of what's happened so far this chapter. We explored the forbidden wing of the Scarlet Estate and found some stuff there. Not a ton changed there from my first playthrough. And Wayne was kind of useless in giving me any information because I didn't choose to go alone. Then we talked to Tabitha about it, and she's actually on my side this time. My chat was asking for a Scarlet Hollow stream to raid. Nice. Yeah, welcome in. Tabitha's actually on my side this time. She defended me from the police. She tried to, at least. The police still arrested me. Because they're awful. And now I'm at the farmhouse that Reese has freed me. Because I was able to get him to calm down without tranquilizing him this time, and he escaped. So now I'm about to go into the farmhouse, and I am interested to see how this changes now that Duke is alive, because Duke is alive this playthrough, which was different from my last playthrough. He's interrupted by the sound of yet another car pulling up to the farms. Oh, Tabitha? Oh, shit. Oh, Dr. Kelly. Oh, it's Dr. Kelly. Oh, wait. Reese, what are you doing here? He runs off without saying another word. Reese, this is just another distraction. Hey, what the hell just happened? I guess that freak survived getting shot, huh? I am surprised I guess he has... This is so completely different from any other playthrough I've done. Yeah, this game's so big, it's crazy. I'm very excited. This is probably going to be my last playthrough I do on stream. Because... I was mainly interested in getting to know Tabitha better. And that's why I wanted to do this one on stream, because I was really interested with her character. Because my first playthrough, she kind of snapped at me because I barely did spend any time with her. I was on not a good relationship with her. And yeah, this game's so huge, it's crazy. With, like, how your choices affect everything that you do. So you have hot, what other trait do you have? I have hot, like you mentioned, and I have powerful build. Because I wanted to try and escape the cops' suspicion by being able to save both Duke and Gretchen. In Chapter 1. Clearly that didn't work out. They're still suspicious of me from Chapter 2. So... You don't have time to respond to your cousin. Today's event has already begun. It has. Tabitha Irma Lilac, I got paged by the sheriff. What the hell is going on here? Where are all of the cops? Did Reese hurt someone? I was so surprised to see Reese again. I was wondering if I would see him. Yeah, I had one run through where I got arrested and another where the chapter ended at the mines. Do you want a tip for the trait that allows you to fully evade the police? You know what? Sure. I can use that in, like, a future playthrough, yeah. The talking is just noise, their words don't matter. There is a humming in your head, almost like a voice. One you can just barely make out. But you know it will be clearer the closer you get to the sound. Oh, street smart. So okay. That does make sense, I guess. Yeah, I haven't tried out that perk yet, because my first playthrough I went with Mystical and Talk to Animals. So I haven't tried, like, Street Smart yet. Yeah, I'll have to try that for another playthrough. You start wandering up towards the farmhouse at the top of the hill. Hey, I'm talking to you. Oh, come on, she's headed to Julius's. But you continue forward, you barely even notice your hand slipping over the doorknob. And now you're inside. Oh, yep. Sheriff Huxby dangles in the middle of the room. An axe attached to some strange mechanism in the ceiling is embedded in his face, holding up his corpse in an imitation of life. Jesus. Don't move, Doc. This place is a damn death trap. This old guy really is crazy, huh? Who the hell puts something like this in their house? Past the body, you can see a giant pumpkin through the door to the garage, cracked open. Its guts strewn across the floor, seeds dotted across the hardwood like a trail of breadcrumbs leading to the basement stairs. What the hell is going on here? I'll probably try and make a different choice here as well with the pumpkin. Because last time I kind of didn't end up making a choice. I just talked until the pumpkin baby consumed Bo. Because I kind of didn't really know what choice to make there. I'm going to try and make a different choice this time. Make an actual choice. Damn it, Derrickson, we don't need all these bodies to look out for. Franklin already nearly got himself shot. Dude, come on, if you could refrain from any further interference in police activities. Without my interference, you might have had 2 dead officers to deal with. Now, if you'll excuse me. Franklin, how's Bo? You got eyes on him? The officer's voice calls up from behind the wall of roots blocking the basement door. Yeah, he's breathing. We're trying to help. Is that Diner Kid? I should have known you, Julius, and have been you and Julius have been conspiring, haven't you? What did you do to my boy? Everybody shut up, damn it. There's no signal here. I'm gonna step outside. No one else had better die while I'm gone. The doctor pulls at the door, but a wave of fibrous tendrils holds it shut. Great. It would seem that the same forces that let all of you in refuse to let anyone leave. It always warms my heart when I see Earl like that. Are we stuck here? What the hell are we supposed to do now? But you already know what to do. Approach the basement. You're vaguely aware that Officer Derrickson is trying to stop you, but he's too nervous to take a step. You reach the basement door and start to claw at the weird, fleshy vines blocking your way. They're strong, but they relent under your touch, welcoming you down below. Who the hell? Here's the vision. So you tried to undermine me, Witch. I should have known you'd try to find a way around the rules. You've trapped the town. This isn't what any of us wanted. You should nullify the deal before this gets any worse. Okay. It's just unhappy. I didn't think something like that would be so opinionated. But I have a plan to placate it. If it wants a less broken body, it can have one. Then we'll see if it feels cheated enough to hold a grudge. Huh. Okay. I see. I'm thinking about the vision because I remember I'm trying to think of it with what I learned from seeing Sybil's backstory at the end of episode 5 in my last playthrough. I guess what they were talking about, the specific thing that they were talking about, would be the entity that Enoch ended up inviting into the town. Yeah. So I guess, if it wants a less broken body, he would have maybe tried putting whatever entity it was into Teddy's body. Maybe. Because he was still injured from the cave-in, but he didn't die, but he was said to have died. So Enoch put his... I wonder... I'm interested in what he specifically would have meant then by, if it wants a less broken body, I'll give it one. I wonder who else he had in mind. Hey. Everybody still alive? Tabitha coughs. I think I broke something. Yeah, my ribs. Why do you have to wear such heavy boots? Saw it all, my family, the witch. Have to find the witch, find the witch. Enoch fucked everyone over, even the witch. Babble incoherently about your vision. Saw it all, my family, the witch. Witch? Damn it, did Sybil send you? I knew it. Wasn't happy with how much she already fucked us up, huh? She still got more bullshit left to pull to ruin my life even more. And all that ends here. I'm getting what she promised me. Whatever she sent you for, I'll shoot you before you do it, so don't even try. Hey now, nobody has to get shot. Your vision finally focuses on your mind and it's once again your own. Avery watches you furtively from across the room. The man, Julius, holds a gun in a silent threat. I'm gonna see if I might see if I can save Beau this time. But I'm also worried because I remember he was Julius was threatening Avery that, like, if the baby doesn't make it, well, he has the gun. See, I want to save Beau, but I also don't want to risk Avery getting killed by Julius, if that's what happens. Franklin sits hunched in the corner, his expression icy and unreadable behind his sunglasses. And in the corner is Beau. I mean, if Duke would come down here, then... I gotta run, hope everything goes well with Beau and the group. Alright, thanks again for the raid. Very appreciated. Hope you have a good rest of your day or night. This choice is freaking awful. Yeah, it is. Something is attached to him, the source of the awful noise. It stutters with pained inhalations. Beau is still breathing, but he doesn't look well. You must have hit your head when you fell down the stairs. This can't be real. Beau is the largest man you've ever seen. How could this happen to him? Lilac, we can't get to you. The door's sealed shut. I wish Duke was down here because Duke would be 100% like... He could get, like, because he's, like, very, very much would be pushing to try and save Beau, so I could just, like, fucking stop Julius from shooting Avery while he did that, but I don't think anyone else here is gonna particularly take initiative to save Beau. They both seem to be hurt, plus he's one of the cops, so of course he's gonna be useless. And Tabitha, like she seems to be hurt from presumably falling down here. Duke, we're down here. Even as she yells to you, her voice is faint, barely audible behind the now thickened roots and vines that block your escape. How's Beau? How's my boy? Not good. Let's bring the Scarlets up to speed, Julius. They look a little shell-shocked. Where do I fucking begin? Alright. So the witch. I caught her doing some shit she shouldn't have been doing, and she offered me a deal if I kept it to myself. Always wanted to raise a boy of my own. God never saw fit to give me the chance. She gave me the means to right that injustice. Oh, I'm not going to be able to save Kanika this playthrough. I'm just realizing I'm getting closer to the vision with Sybil. I'm realizing I'm not going to be able to save Kanika without the mystical trait. That sucks. Only it obviously didn't go quite the way it was supposed to. Calloway's interview, just like always, made it so I had to hatch him earlier than he was ready, and he came out hungry, too hungry for me to handle. He just kept trying to get at me, so I had to hole up down here. Been stuck since fucking Wednesday night. Dimmerits won't let me leave, and they've clogged up the drain, so I haven't been able to call that witch and get her to make things right. But I'm a man of preparedness. Figured I could wait it out until Beau here decided to trespass. Guess he lost a tussle with my boy, and the two of them wound up down here with me. And that about sums it up. I guess in the end it's only fair. A son for a son. And birthday never pretty, is it? It's not like doing it the old-fashioned way. It's all sunshine and roses. Just hope he winds up looking more like a person when he's done cooking. So you blackmailed a witch for her magic beans so you could grow a boy? I'd watch what you fucking say to me. Don't shoot her. I'm not saying anything. I just wanted to make sure I understood your story. I don't give a shit about your story, Tremaine. None of that is a reason to shoot a cop. I didn't even hit you, you fucking pussy. It was self-defense, castle doctrine. Oh, interesting. He didn't hit him this time. Last time he did. I'm pretty sure. What in the hell are you talking about down there? What are you doing with my bow? Calm down, Calloway. We got the situation under control. Just let us talk it through. How did Beau lose a tussle with that thing? It must not have been playing fair. Why should I care what happens here? None of this has anything to do with me. Avery, I thought you were chill. Why are you helping him? What the hell is going on down here? This is messed up. What the fuck is wrong with you? Can you hear me? You don't need to threaten anybody. Let's talk, okay? Do you know how to contact her, the witch? You need to let Beau go. Please just let us go. We'll all forget about this. Oh, great. Okay, I'm saving. Return. Pick the powerful one. Can't say. Not sure what happened up there. But I'd argue God wasn't being fair when he handed that boy the shoulders of a pro football player when his daddy's about the size of a teacup boodle. Whatever it is my boy has going for him, all it did was put the two of them on even footing. Sounds fair enough to me. What's going on? Avery, what the hell is going on down here? You don't have to answer, kid. I don't need my business explained to every stranger who decides to pay me a visit. It's okay. Lilac has been through a lot of stuff like this lately. She must be an expert at this point. So Julius hatched a baby out of a pumpkin. The really big pumpkin. You probably saw it upstairs. And then he was stuck in the basement for a couple days while it was upstairs crawling around looking for food. Then, unfortunately, Beau showed up. All I heard was some yelling and crashing around up there. Then I wound up with this shit on my hands. So I called the kid to come try and help me sort it out. No, wait, shit. Wait, hold on. I did not mean to time you out. I'm so sorry. Shit. Hold on. I don't know what the fuck is going on with my Twitch auto mod. Hold on. Hold on. Apologies. No, it wasn't backseating. I don't know what was going on. I think something went fucky with the auto mod. That wasn't backseating. I clicked... I don't use the auto mod on mobile very much. I didn't realize what the fucking thing meant. Sorry. Sorry. I don't think you did anything. I think it's just Twitch's auto mod being weird. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Huh. That's me. Julius thought my playing expertise would come in handy. I can't say it's been that helpful, though. I feel like the baby is freaking out more than ever. Getting it out of Bo without killing him doesn't seem easy, or possible. Would have been easier if everyone in town showed up uninvited. Okay, so I'm probably gonna make the choice now, honestly. I think most of this is like getting information dialogue. And I already got the information last playthrough, so you need to let Bo go. Please just let us go. Forget all about this. You need to let Bo go. There's no letting him go anymore. There probably is a way, but I don't know if I want to risk Avery's life for this. Listen, clearly you need something. You woke up talking about the witch. You want to know where she is? I can tell you how to find her. If none of you does anything stupid, then I'll tell you what I know. Sound fair? Conversations are... Oh. Nah. Didn't mean to skip that dialogue. That's my boy. Enough of this bullshit. Somebody help me get this axe down. I'm not letting some damn tumor stop me. Are you sure, Duke? What if it triggers another trap? Or there's the sound of something being torn free from wood, then hacking at the vine-like tendrils, blocking the doorway. But no progress seems to be made. For every piece severed, another grows in its place. You want to bring the damn house down, Duke? A string of desperate curses from upstairs, but the axe doesn't stop swinging. Bo squirms with discomfort. The baby seems to be digging deeper. Oh my god. Shouldn't you be concerned that Duke is trying to get down here? You know he's gonna kill it if he does. He won't get through. My boy will make sure of that. He might be a little thing, but as you can see, that doesn't mean he can't protect himself. Okay. This isn't a debate. Shut up or I'll shut your mouth for you. I don't know, Julius. I still think there's something we're missing, and if Lilac thinks so too, maybe it's worth talking about again. That's why I'm here in the first place, right? To come up with some other solution. And you and I already decided this was best. That discussion was had and done before anyone else even showed up. I have a feeling the gun was involved. Bo twitches, his skin blossoming with fresh bruises as the thing takes more of him. Oh my god. Okay. Nope. Shit. No. Don't overwrite my save for my first playthrough. No. Did you know how to get into contact with the witch? That I do. This all sounds kind of ridiculous. Oh, shit. Alright. I'd use this faucet here, fill up a Pepsi bottle or whatever I got on hand, put a little note in there, and she'd make her answer no. It's fed by natural spring water. That's her preferred method of communication, like her internet, I suppose. But as you can see, it is currently out of order. I tried earlier, but my boy's got his meat all in there, and we won't be getting a drop out of it until he calms down. Okay. Okay. You've said enough. The only thing else to do is wait until the creature is finished. Someone has to destroy that thing. It might as well be you. Don't think there's anything for us to do except wait. But it seems like he's already done for. Maybe this child deserves a chance at life. I'm gonna save yet again because... This is like the most difficult of the chapter choices, I think. Especially if there's a risk that Avery gets shot for me doing this. Because first of all, yeah, it's an actual baby. Yes, seems to be an actual baby. But also there is a very much alive person who's going to have to die for this baby to live. Along with maybe two, actually, like, along with two people, if he decides to shoot Avery. Well, I saved. I can roll back if... Now, let's see. The waiting brings you to your limit, and then it brings you past it. You move quickly, diving across the smaller room, scooping up the shears on the floor as you zero in on Beau and the thing, slowly eating its way through him. Hey! The shears come down on the thing, piercing its unnaturally soft chest. Beau's stolen blood pours out of its orifices in a thick sludge. Beau gasps as if it's him you stabbed, the thick veins under his skin expanding and writhing. No! You stupid... If you shoot my cousin, old man, I swear to God. You whirl around to see his gun trained on you, your heart freezing in a split second of utter terror. Oh, let's go, wait. Oh, is he gonna shoot... Is he gonna shoot the cop? But Deputy Franklin seizes his moment. He lunges for his gun, grabbing and aiming all in one cop movie motion, turning Julius's attention away from you. Oh no, it's gonna be onto Avery, isn't it? Because that's the only other direction. That or Tabitha. Two shots are fired so close together that it sounds like an echo. Oh! Jesus, okay, so it was Julius. And Franklin, I guess, as well, yeah. You scramble back against the wall. The aftermath of the momentary violence comes into focus, your ears ringing, muting your surroundings. The baby isn't moving. Beau, in contrast, shows clear signs of continued life, shifting uneasily despite the veins still embedded in his skin. And the two men, Franklin gasping his last, bleeding profusely from a wound in his neck. Oh, Franklin got killed too. Well. And Julius, a clean bullet wound on his temple, dead already. Can't see. Is he dead? He's dead. At least Avery's fine. Avery is fine. Did I save anybody? I'm not giving him that satisfaction. Look. Okay, sure, whatever. He did that. One good thing. Still also was treating me fucking horribly before. Save. I didn't need your help. You didn't have to step in like that. Remain silent. You say nothing. You did. You saved people. It's okay. Franklin doesn't say anything else. He slumps, his chest no longer gasping any desperate sips of air through his mangled neck. Finally, the vine slackened, the womb no longer needing to hold itself together, now that the thing it was feeding has died along with two of its prisoners. The faucet in the corner of the room, finally unclogged, bursts to life, and water pours out onto the dirt floor, mixing with the fresh blood and tissue into a charnel house slurry. Daddy? Jesus Christ, we need a doctor down here right now. It's really dead. Julius and Franklin, they're both dead. God, yeah, completely fair for them to be shaken up. And Bo, God, I don't think he's gonna be okay. I was supposed to help. Yeah, maybe he'll end up okay. Something has me feeling like maybe this wasn't entirely the right choice. But again, also I'm not focused on making like what choice I would want to do this playthrough, because this is not my first one. This is my second playthrough, and I am trying to make different choices from my last one, so I am glad this is a different choice. This is a very different choice than what I did last time. It's also, yeah. I wonder how this will change things in, like, the further chapters when they come out. Your hands are wet. The water's spreading, pooling around you, making the floor slippery with mud. Somebody finally trusted me enough to ask for help, and this is what happened. What the hell is with the water? We have to get out of here before this place floods. Oh, does Tabitha see it too? Because I remember last chapter when the structure-wise Bo has to survive if we try to save him, otherwise the dilemma would be weird. Yeah. I do think he's gonna survive. I wonder how, like, affected he's gonna be continuing on. Because, yeah, he is gonna survive for sure. Because otherwise there wouldn't be the whole, like, choose one of them to survive, yeah. Interesting that Tabitha sees the water too, because I remember my last playthrough, I was the only one who in the room who could see the water rising. What if we can't save Bo? Why did they have to die? I was supposed to help and they died. Even the baby, it didn't know it was doing it. It didn't know it was hurting him. It isn't your fault, it was an impossible situation. That thing was an abomination, don't mourn it. That old man never should have involved you in this. His death is his own doing. No, Avery, don't do this to yourself. I'm the one who went for it. Why didn't you just stay home? I thought you liked when things were exciting. If you had been able to see that thing for what it was, you could have fixed this before I ever showed up. Remain silent. This isn't your fault. This was an impossible situation. It wasn't. There was something I could have done if I had just figured it out. Water rising. I wonder if Tabitha's gonna see the vision too then. The water is suddenly much higher. It rises up past your ankles. Otherwise, why would I even be here? Why would I have called if it was? Why would I have been called if it wasn't my chance to do something right? Duke finally manages to push his way through the vines at the top of the stairs. He rushes down the steps, Dr. Kelly following close behind, her eyes wide with horror at the scene in the basement. Oh God, what happened to him? Bo, what have they done to you? Bo, can you hear me? Am I getting a checkup? You sure are, Bo. Stay with me. I'm sorry. I tried. What do you mean you're sorry? What did you have to do with this, you freak? Did you help the rat bastard? Did you lure my boy in here? You all need to stop arguing and get that big guy out of here before it floods. Lilac, come on, we're leaving. What are you talking about, Tabitha? Yeah, they still can't see it either. Oh, is Tabitha gonna... Dog is barking at something. So I wonder if Tabitha's gonna see the vision too. If she's gonna see Sybil's backstory. But it is flooding. It's up to your chest now. There's no denying it. Do none of you see the fucking water? Tabitha, you didn't hit your head down here, did you? Her words are swallowed up as it finally overtakes you. Oh, I wonder if this is her being here is gonna change the vision. You feel like you're choking. There's water in your lungs, or there should be. Your ears are filled with the sound of a rushing current. I still really like the way this backstory bit was done. With the, like, wooden mannequins, the wooden puppets. It's cold and dark, and there are people screaming everywhere. There are bodies in the water with you. They're all dead. 1,000 corpses, 1,000 homes, all torn to pieces. But the flood recedes. It hasn't happened yet. Also, I wonder how this chapter is going to end, because I remember, like, specifically where the chapter ended with me saving Kanika last time. We ended up near Tetanus Lake, I think. I wonder where this is going to end if I'm not with Kanika. You are the mother of a daughter, and your daughter has told you about her terrible dream. It's going to kill everyone. You are not the one who had the vision. Not yet. It has only been described to you by the daughter you have been teaching, as your mother taught you. You're the only one who can stop it, Mother, but you won't be strong enough. Her words are heavy. I could be sure maybe it's only a dream, the village is doomed, then of course I'll stop it. Don't worry so much. No, Mother, I've seen it. You will try to stop it and you will die. But there's another path. Take my power. I give it willingly. I won't destroy my own daughter, but I want you to be your own person. I can't do this to you. I can't lose you. It can't be what I'm destined to do. There's only one way you can keep me with you. Take my power. I'll live in you as I once did. I will never leave you. Accept and take your daughter back. You accept your daughter's decision. She is not the child she once was, and there is a confidence in her that you have no choice but to respect. You take her back. Her power becomes yours. The flood does not come. The village is saved, and no one ever knows the sacrifice that was made for their lives. No one but you. Years have passed. You outlive everyone you used to know. You move on. You meet new people. You start a new life. You have another daughter. This time the vision is yours. The piece of your first daughter that lives in you shows you what is coming. Rotting bodies in the streets, the smell of sickness on the wind, church bells ringing for an endless parade of funerals, an entire city whose gates will never reopen, everyone inside the walls falling to the curse of the plague. You are among their number, no longer strong enough to heal even itself. Your body no longer strong enough to heal even itself. You are not enough to stop it. Not as you are. There is another path, a narrow thread. If you were stronger, you could tug at it and unravel the tapestry of the future. Mother, what's wrong? Your daughter will never be as strong as you are, not after what you had to do. But she still carries in her some strength, enough. Take your daughter back. You do not offer an explanation before trying to take her back. She rebels. Her power is weak, but enough that she is not easy to contain. She is frightened. Explain it to her as it was explained to you. You tell her what's coming. You explain that what she has to give up. What you both have to give up. You love your daughter, after all. You will miss her as you miss your first daughter. She is angry. Even when you try to explain that she will be a part of you, that she won't die, she cries and cries, and she tries to run away from you. Fate is attempting to cut its loose thread. Stop her from leaving. You do not let your daughter run away from you. No plague comes. The city never knows it would have been a ruin. But there is an unhappiness in you. She didn't understand, and what you took of her is angry, confused, restless. You have to carry that with you. It is part of the burden of what you are. Though no one knows the depth of what you have done over the years, you have not escaped notice. You find yourself in a capital in a place whose name has changed too many times to count. A war is brewing. The eyes of those who hold fire in their hands are on you, who fate in their hands are on you, their lips asking which threads to pull and which to cut. And the tapestry is once again revealed to you. The war rages and it never stops raging. Bleeding that spans generations. Children born to die, decades of pain that leave a raw wound on the world. Or it ends before it begins. The few die for the sake of the many. You can guide powerful hands to crush those that need crushing, if only you have more power of your own. You call your daughter to you. You raise them differently these days. The disquiet left by their reluctant daughter taught you a permanent lesson. They don't need convincing anymore. They are ready to return to you whenever you need them. Take her back. This daughter joins her sisters easily, as she has been trained to do. You are the only one who will remember her sacrifice and her name. A small rebellion is crushed before it becomes a revolution. The people in power are happy. You leave. You don't want to see any more visions of war. You set your sights on a place where there are no kings. And yet, even an ocean away, power finds you. A man with aspirations. Anyone can hold power here, you have discovered, if they're ambitious enough to want it. The hunger in him senses the power in you, and for a time you humor him. You allow him to give you a life of comfort, you and your daughter.
You don't see a future where he ever grows more powerful than you manage. Not until the vision comes. A war like none the world has witnessed. A fledgling nation devoured in the nest. A man who sits on a throne where none was meant to be. The world under his cruel fists bowing to its crushing weight. The very ocean stained red by his influence. The vocalist for this sequence is the same for Slay the Princess. Amelia Hart. Oh, that's really cool. I didn't actually know. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's really cool. He's already on his way. You've realized too late. You have been too close to him to see it. Your choices have already narrowed. The war is coming, whether you strike now or not. The loose thread is sticking out from a mass of blood, with you too weak to grasp it. But you have a daughter. You always have a daughter until you don't. Take her back. She joins her sisters, as is her destiny, and you remove him from the world. The hole where he was is filled by lesser men, none of whom remember whose shoes they're stepping into, and none of whom can hope to command the way he would have. Blood is spilled, less blood, but you still feel every drop. You hide yourself away from the world. You and your daughter. The visions still find you, but here they are small, the decision's simple. You make them all the same, helping where you can. A storm halted, a conflict settled. Until one day when you were shown a dark pit. Splintering wood, debris trapping everyone inside, bodies burning as the very rock catches fire. Children screaming as their flesh bubbles, then silence as lungs fill with smoke. You know the choice that lies in front of you. This one's not this time, yeah. You take your daughter's hand and you look her in the eyes. They're green like yours. You don't want to do it this time. You stare out over the hills together as a plume of smoke rises into the air. But you can't hear the screams from here. You assume you will die one day like anyone else. After all, you're long past due. Maybe you'll be lucky enough to know your grandchildren before you go. Then the man comes, and with him a vision. He has already decided. He is bringing something here, something ravenous that doesn't belong, but that has been pressing at the edges of your world, trying to find a way in. It has its way now whether you help him or not. More of the thread you followed comes into focus, and for the first time you follow it beyond your death. Disaster after disaster, crisis after crisis, thousands of years of little cuts that you weren't there to mend. On and on it goes, longer than you can ever hope to follow. It's still eternal and incalculable. But there is a new thread too. If you are patient enough, if you are strong enough when the moment finally comes, if you do everything right, you can devour this thing that sits outside the world. And it will give you so much power that you will never have to take back a daughter again. You could fix as many things as you care to fix. Floods, plagues, wars, kings. You look into her green eyes so much like yours. Take her back. You welcome her back as you have with every daughter before her, and you help the man. He is arrogant, he cheats the thing from another world in every way he can. He wastes your time. There will have to be more daughters before the day comes that this will be over. But days and daughters come and go, and you are very patient. You have to be, if you're there to stop the hurt that would scar a world without you there to guide it. Oh, Tabitha's here too, yeah. And now you are here, on the cusp of the end, the final daughter. How is this gonna change with her being here? Lilac? Tabitha? What are you two doing here? Are you real? Yeah, we're real. Are you? I don't know. Probably. I wasn't expecting anyone to see me off. I especially wasn't expecting the two of you. So that means you've made up my mind. Yeah. Don't try to talk me out of it. It won't work. You're a good person, Kanika. I hope you know that. Yeah. I remember Tabitha specifically saying she never disliked Kanika. I wonder if me and Tabitha combined can talk her out of it, even without me having the mystical trait. Probably not, because that seems to be
Like, the one that, like, for this chapter, that's the one that makes you able to avoid this happening. But maybe... I forgot you. I can't believe it. All day it's just like you didn't exist. What decision? How do we know any of what that really happened? What exactly is she trying to prevent? Do you even know? You don't have to do this, Kanika. I understand it has to be done. Remain silent. Save here. I forgot you. I can't believe it. All day it's just like you didn't exist. That's weird. I can't even remember that I forgot about her. Yeah, it's part of all this. Soon enough you can go back to forgetting it, and it'll be like all this never happened. You won't even know how to be upset about it. What exactly is she trying to prevent? Do you even know? That thing that Enoch brought, whatever it is, breaking out and causing havoc. And all those disasters my mom would be able to stop if she takes its power for herself. She'd be able to fix the town and make it so people can actually leave again. Like, don't you want that? We could forget about everything that happened earlier today. Not really. Not at the cost of Kanika being taken by fucking Sybil. Things could be okay between us. You really feel like your life has been meaningless? Working at a shitty little general store in a dying town? I guess I would call that pretty meaningless. Most lives are meaningless, Lilac. Hers doesn't have to be. Tabitha, I didn't... I guess. I guess that makes sense that she's trying to kind of... Because... Yeah. I guess that makes sense, yeah. That she's trying to talk me into this as well, I guess. Well, I guess also especially if she's probably under whatever spell of Sybil's. Because she also, like, drinks her tea. What decision? You saw that whole vision thing, right? Generations of people are going to suffer if I don't help her. Look, I'm going to do what I was born to do. I'm going to save lives, Lilac. More than most people could in a lifetime. It's the only sensible thing to do. How do we know any of that really happened? It happened, Lilac. Which means that if I don't go through with this, I'll know everything my mom could have stopped will be my fault. You don't have to do this. Yes, I do. You saw what's going to happen if I don't. What am I supposed to do? Go back to my normal life after this? Knowing how many people are going to suffer through the generations because I was too selfish to save them? How could I ever live with myself? Lilac, she's right. We have to let her do it. So don't try anything. I don't care if you think you're being a hero. This has to happen. She doesn't seem to like that this is particularly happening, though. Even if she seems to be trying to, like, accept it, she... Saving again. You don't trust the witch, do you? It doesn't matter if I trust her or not. Do you trust me? Because I know Sybil's secretly there. Like, I remember seeing with the mystic. With the mystical trait. Sybil's, like, right there. This isn't as much of a two-sided conversation with Kanika. What should you know? Please don't ask me that. You know I can't give you a good answer. It doesn't matter anyway. Not anymore.
You've seen enough of it to know that this is the right choice. I'll be fixing your family's mistakes for good. Somebody has to. But I don't like that Kanika is trading her whole life for someone else's goals. It's not fair. Her life has value. Lilac, I'm a college dropout working a dead-end job in a dead-end town. I think I'm ready to stop lying to myself that I'm going to amount to anything on my own. This is the most important thing I could ever do. It's more important than what most people do in a whole lifetime. I'm gonna save again because this. I don't think I'm gonna use any of the Explorer options left, so this is like right at the choice. You're not solely responsible for the fate of the world, and neither is your mom. Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean I should only ever make choices that benefit me. Sometimes people have to make decisions that hurt them in order to do the most good. People have to pay taxes or donate kidneys or, things that aren't pleasant but that help people and make the world work. I'm happy to do this, I am. Stop trying to convince me that I'm not. Yeah, you really aren't, though. Sybil manipulated you. Lilac, for the love of God, cut it out. This doesn't need to be any harder than it already is. There she fucking is, yep. I guess it wasn't the mystical trait specifically that made me able to see her. Quiet here, there's no need to let Lilac talk you in circles. You already know the right answer, remember? You're right, all of this needs to end. I know what I have to do. So sorry for the trouble, Tabitha. This won't take long. Lilac, don't you trust your cousin? I thought you were getting close. Don't fucking manipulate me with that. In fact, I know you are, because she wouldn't be doing this if she didn't care about you. This choice goes against everything her family worked so hard to maintain. We don't have to talk about that. What, about how letting this happen will give you both a powerful ally that will free the town of Scarlet Hollow? Kanika could have been that powerful ally instead of you taking that power, instead of you holding that power. I'd rather her. Free is not the word I would... No, that's fine. Whatever. She's going to free the town. There, are you convinced now? Let's just close our eyes and wait for this to be over. Your cousin has the right idea. Kanika can't save you on her own, but I can. Knowledge of my other playthrough shows differently. I'm only able to tell you so much, but I tried to show you what I could. I'd hoped you would be able to trust me by now, for your sake. This is the only way your story gets a happy ending. Tabitha doesn't seem very happy about this. The way that she's, like, not looking directly at Sybil at all. Or even in her direction. I feel like Sybil definitely, like, is trying to, like... either manipulated Tabitha or is, like, has promised her something. Maybe not necessarily promised her something, but is definitely, like, trying to... talk her into this, even though she clearly doesn't necessarily want to. I feel like, at least if I'm reading this correctly, if I'm reading into her reactions correctly, she did just try to manipulate me with, like, being like, oh, well, you and Tabitha have been getting closer, right? Like, you want to actually let me do this. Yeah, why should I trust you? Oh, the baby? The one he was supposed to keep incubating until the pumpkin had shriveled in the field? I gave very clear instructions, you know. It isn't my fault that the Callaways decided it was their property, or that he decided to hatch it while it was still hungry. I saw the possibility, I won't lie to you about that, but I see many possibilities. It was just as likely that the baby would consume him before anyone was the wiser. or that the pumpkin would be taken to the fair, and that the thing inside would die where no one could see its suffering. Sometimes, Lilac, pain is unavoidable. Julius wanted a fix for everything that had gone wrong for him over the decades of his life. I couldn't provide that, not after who he had decided to become. It was already too late to stop those consequences from reaching him. What you're doing now is inviting a future with more pain. Please let me choose the kindest path instead. Kindest path, yeah, sure. Sybil's always kept her bargains, Lilac. I don't trust her a bit. Sybil, this feels evil, because it does. I know how unpalatable this feels, Lilac, but pull back the curtain and it's a far kinder choice than anything you've been party to this week. When you ran after Beacon and Alexis, you courageously left Rosalina Gutierrez maimed for her life. Unlike that young girl's suffering, Kanika's memory will be but a passing breeze. There won't be anyone to hurt from her loss. Don't try and act like you're a better person than I've been being. Even you'll forget her as soon as she's gone. The burden of remembering her is mine and mine alone. You left Charlie's spirit to fester unresolved in the library. How many more lifetimes of suffering is he going to experience? Yeah, after you tried to manipulate Tabitha into giving up some of her life for that. Just now, you chose to destroy the parasite attached to Bo Calloway, but at such an unforeseen cost. I don't think you've made any wrong choices, Alec. Enoch's legacy has simply stacked the deck against you. My daughter is one person, and she won't die in the traditional sense of the word. She'll be here, with me and her sisters. It will be gentle like stepping into a pool. All of these lingering threads left by your decisions can still be mended if you let her help me. Lilac, just listen to her, okay? Why can't you just be direct? Those are the rules. Every bargain has its rules. So it's her life or ours? Is that what you're saying? That is a very distinct possibility, yes, though any harm visited on you won't come from me. You're in danger. I'm sure you can feel that. And I make a powerful ally. Did you know I was going to wind up here? Doesn't this throw a wrench into your plans? I did see this possibility. No, inevitability, I suppose. I'd hoped it would be all over before you could find me. I know it can be unpleasant to watch. I'd hoped to spare you, even if I knew in my heart that all the worthwhile roads for you to walk would bring you here right before I could finish my work. But your being here only throws a wrench into things if you're unable to grasp the weight of what you're about to do. So ask as many questions as you need to. Explore all avenues. I will answer until you understand. Can I try to get Kanika out of here? I could try. On the one hand, I 100% want to get Kanika out of here. On the other hand, I hope this doesn't ruin the relationship with Tabitha. I wouldn't know, obviously, I wouldn't really know until episode 6 and 7 came out. But, get Kanika out of here. Yeah, I'm not leaving her in here. You rush towards Kanika, your hand outstretched, ready to rip her away from from her mother's grasp. But your cousin grabs you before you can get to her. Lilac, stop. Push past her and do what you set out to do. Yield. I'm doing this. You easily drag your cousin forward before locking your hand with Kanika's. You pull. Why do you care so much about what happens to me? It's better if I go. Lilac, please, you understand. You're damning yourself by doing this. She's just outright threatening me now. She has lost all of her, so sweet manipulation. She is just outright threatening me now. None of us want this. None of us. But all of their words break harmlessly against the cold reality of your physical might. You wrench Kanika free, her eyes opening wide, her hand wrapping around your forearm with a newfound vigor. The dream starts to lose its shape. The world is flooding back in. No, come back! The world shifts nauseatingly around you, Kanika, and Tabitha. You feel like you're being buoyed upwards, ascending rapidly, reality rushing to meet you, until finally you surface. Oh, we're by Tetanus Lake again, I think. Yeah. You're outside. It's raining. You have no idea where you are. Tulip, Janie, this is the end of episode 5. Only one major content update remains until the story reaches its conclusion in the final chapters. Stay tuned for updates on the final release by joining our Discord, following us on social media, or signing up for a newsletter. If you'd like to carry your progress over into the final chapters, please save your game now. Yeah. Oh, that was such an interesting ending. I didn't think I'd be able to save Kanika without Mystical. I guess Mystical is what allows you to... I guess saving Kanika isn't what's tied to Mystical. What's tied to Mystical is saving Kanika and having her absorb Sybil and all of the other souls. I guess that's what's tied to the Mystical trait. Glad I was still able to save her. Alright, so that was my second playthrough. Back to the main menu. That was very good. The Mystical gives Kanika and having a witch to your side. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I do like that detail, though, that Sybil immediately, like, vaguely threatens you, basically, the moment that you clearly aren't falling for her, for what she's trying to tell you. I do like that detail, because it's obviously all manipulation, especially, like, with my knowledge of my first playthrough, of knowing that Kanika could have just absorbed Sybil instead. Sybil didn't have to keep absorbing her daughters. She was just doing that because she wanted, like, specifically wanted to stop the disasters herself, or something, whatever reasoning her character has. Clearly, she could have passed the power down to her daughters. Maybe not necessarily the first one, because the first one, it was told to give... It was said that it was too close to the disaster. But any of the ones past then, she could have... Instead of preparing her daughters to be readily consumed by her, she could have prepared her daughters to... That there's going to be a disaster sometime during their life, and they are going to have to take on her powers. And eventually, essentially pass those down through the generations, instead of her consuming all of her daughters. Which is exactly why I don't really have much sympathy for Sybil at all. Because, sure, maybe she has some level of... She doesn't want to do this to her daughters. But also, she doesn't have to be. Interesting fact, Tabitha was pro-Kanika's sacrifice and tried to stop you from saving her. But her opinions about that whole thing can depend on your playthrough. Oh, interesting. That's interesting that you can depend on the playthrough. I'll have to explore the options there and see if I can get a playthrough where she is with me against Sybil. I'll have to see what I can do with that. Yeah, I am very excited for whenever 6 and 7 come out. For whenever the next 2 chapters come out. That is... Yeah. I'm interested to see how this game is going to end, and also, specifically, how I'm going to do this with these 2 playthroughs, because I am planning on finishing both of these playthroughs on further streams when those 2 chapters come out. I will still play my first playthrough, though, first. I will play the last 2 chapters on here, on my first playthrough, and then I'll do my second playthrough with befriending Tabitha. Because I still want to go through... I want to finish the game for the first time on my first playthrough with all of my choices I made in the moment with no further knowledge on the game. Rather than the stuff I made with a full playthrough's worth of knowledge of what choices I would want to make. Yeah, that was good. Don't think there's much else. I have to say, Chapter 5 was, as I predicted... Lots of stuff changed with the choices I made. I'm excited to see how insanely different Chapter 5 can even be further from this, because this playthrough wasn't that different. Yeah, going blind is fun. Yeah.
Chapter 5 is the chapter that it's definitely my favorite of the chapters so far. I think on my first playthrough, by the end of that, it was Chapter 4 that was my favorite, but Chapter 5, I've seen, with this playthrough, my choices weren't even that different, other than befriending Tabitha and rebuilding her and Stella's relationship. And also getting away from the cop's suspicion in Chapter 1, but not Chapter 2. Episode 1 and 2, whatever. My choices weren't that different other than that. And it was still, there was a lot of differences. I want to see what the other differences are that you can have. I need to do a playthrough where I go in with the hot trait and I manage to calm down Reese. Yeah, saving Duke affected this episode, yeah. That too. I need to do a playthrough where I go in with the hot trait and calm down Reese, but without calling Tabitha to go, because her shooting Reese definitely... I wonder if he would still run away if he didn't get shot. Maybe he would still run away, but... I do definitely want to try that. Probably I'll do that in whatever playthrough I romance Reese, which probably won't be on stream, by the way. Also, probably. I also said this at the end of my first playthrough. That was probably going to be my only playthrough I would play on stream, and then I ended up doing this one. Things can change, but I'm probably not planning on doing any more playthroughs of Scarlet Hollow on stream, mainly just because I don't know. I feel like a lot of other playthroughs aren't going to be that, like... well, they're going to be having a lot of changes, of course, but... I don't know, maybe I'll do, like, a Wayne playthrough where I learn more about Wayne, if I can. I assume if you, like, actually trust Wayne and get closer to Wayne, you probably can learn more about him. But probably won't be any more done on streams. Probably. This one's been very fun. I really liked getting to learn more about Tabitha, get closer to her. And I was definitely like, yes, I was wrong about her in the first playthrough. In my first playthrough, I was very much... because I didn't bond with Tabitha at all. I was the opposite of close to her. I tried getting close to her, but I just happened to make a lot of choices that ended up making her very much not like me. And my first playthrough, I kind of ended with, like, the thought of, I don't like Tabitha very much. I tried to get close to her, but I didn't like her very much, because in the end, even when I went with Stella to try and confront her about the stuff, she called the cops on me. And was trying to, like, force Stella to not... to like, just let her do, like... not necessarily trying to force Stella, she was trying to very heavily talk Stella into being on her side instead when... and she was, like, accusing me of manipulating Stella against her. And stuff, so I didn't like Tabitha very much on my first play. This playthrough, though, I really like Tabitha. She's risen up to being one of my favorite characters along with Stella. And I'm interested to see what other stuff happens with Tabitha in the later chapters. I want to try more playthroughs where I get even closer with Tabitha. There's a couple scenes I missed out on this playthrough because I was still romancing Stella, so the end of chapter 4, I didn't go home with Tabitha to have ice cream with her. I want to see what happens with that. I want to see what happens if you let Stella and Tabitha make up with each other alone. If you decide to let her go to Stella alone, there's a choice you can do with that, I assume. That changes things. Yeah. I'm really excited for seeing more of this game. Probably way more playthroughs I could get out of this game, I imagine, where a lot of different stuff still happens. Like, I think if I look at the achievements I've gotten in the game, I've gotten, like, 36% of the game achievements in 2 playthroughs. And obviously not even everything has an achievement in this game. So, like, not even halfway of the game in 2 full playthroughs where I change stuff up. Anyways, I think that's all about all I have to say. This was a very fun stream. This was a very fun playthrough. This game is incredible. Anyone who is interested in the game who hasn't played it very much should. It's amazing. And I absolutely cannot wait for Chapter 6 and 7. I'm very much looking forward to those.
thanks to anyone who came by and watched. It's always very appreciated. Hold on, where's Streamlabs? There we go. There we go, open that. Yeah, it's always very appreciated. Thanks to any new, like, thanks to the raid that came in. It's very appreciated. Anyone who enjoyed this stream and wants to see more streams from me, feel free to follow. It's not required, but it's always very appreciated if you want to see when I will next stream. If you want more, like, regular updates from me off of, like, other than just what I give during streams, you can follow my Blue Sky, which is linked in my Twitch profile. I also post my art there whenever I draw art. And also, I have my VOD channel linked in my channel as well, if you want to go over there and watch some old streams. I have the first playthrough of Scarlet Hollow over there. I have the rest of the other 2 streams I did of this playthrough. I have those over there as well. As well as a bunch of other VODs. I have been making sure to do better about uploading every single VOD after I'm done streaming, so if you're interested, you can go over there. And that is about, I think, all I have for this. Thanks again to anyone who came along. This is a very fun stream. Shit, wait, why did that click out of Streamlabs? Hold on. Okay, there we go. And yeah, I will see you all next stream. I don't know when exactly it's going to be or what it's going to be. What game I'm going to stream. But yeah, probably, maybe sometime next week. Maybe sometime in the next